Have you ever had that awkward silence when you're talking to someone, and suddenly your brain just freezes? You stare blankly, trying to think of anything to say. Sound familiar? You're not alone. By the end of this video, you'll know foolproof strategies to keep the conversation flowing, whether it's with friends, dates, or total strangers. No more awkward pauses. No more feeling stuck. Let me tell you about my friend Tom. Super smart guy, but in social settings, he'd go completely quiet. He told me he always ran out of things to say, and it made him feel bored. And if you've ever been there, you know it's frustrating. You're stuck in silence, your mind goes blank, and the longer it lasts, the more awkward it feels. Tom wasn't boring, though. In fact, when we talked one-on-one, he could go on about the most fascinating topics, his favorite movies, weird facts about history, even wild stories from his travels. But when he was in a group or meeting someone new, it was like a wall went up. He'd overthink every word, worried about saying the wrong thing or coming off as weird. And the worst part? That silence made him seem less confident, even though he had so much to offer. That's because this happens to so many of us. You see someone you want to connect with, but instead of flowing conversation, there's an awkward pause. You think, what do I say now? And suddenly, the pressure's on. But here's what changed for Tom, and what can change for you. He didn't magically become a social genius overnight. He just learned a simple framework to keep conversations flowing naturally, no matter where he was or who he was talking to. Once you understand this framework, you'll never run out of things to say. Whether you're meeting someone new, reconnecting with old friends, or even talking to your boss. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll walk away with 4 powerful strategies to keep any conversation going, boost your confidence, and make sure you're remembered for the right reasons. So why does this happen? It's usually one of 2 reasons. 1, we're too focused on trying to impress others, or 2, we don't know how to keep the conversation flowing naturally. The good news? Both of these are completely fixable. Now we know why we run out of things to say most of the time. It's because we're too focused on ourselves, worrying about what to say next, how we're being perceived, or if we sound smart. But here's the truth. The key to great conversations isn't about saying the perfect thing. It's about shifting your focus to them. That's where the Ford method comes in. It's a simple, proven strategy to keep any conversation flowing naturally by asking questions about topics that people love talking about. Let me break it down for you. Ford stands for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. 4 topics that people naturally enjoy talking about. It's simple, but it works because it shifts the spotlight off you and onto them. Family. Ask about their family or background. Occupation. Dive into their work. Recreation. Find out their hobbies. Dreams. Ask about their aspirations. Let me give you an example. You're at a party, and you meet someone new. Instead of worrying about what to say, ask, what do you do for fun? Boom. They'll open up about their favorite hobbies, and suddenly, you've got a conversation flowing. Most people love sharing about themselves when asked the right questions. The beauty of the Ford method is that it keeps the focus on them, making you look like an incredible conversationalist. And the best part? You'll never run out of things to say, because every answer they give leads to new opportunities for follow-up questions. If you struggle with this at first, write down a few go-to questions for each Ford topic. Trust me, this trick works wonders. Now, here's where most people mess up. They focus so much on what to say next that they forget to listen. And that's where strategy 2, become an active listener, comes in. Being a great conversationalist isn't just about asking questions. It's about showing genuine interest in the answers. People don't remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. And when you listen actively, you make people feel seen. Here's how to do it. React naturally. Nod, smile, or say things like, wow, that's interesting. Ask follow-up questions. If they mention their hobby is painting, ask, what kind of art do you love to create? Reflect back what they say. So you've been hiking every weekend? That's awesome. Where's your favorite spot? Think of a conversation like playing tennis. You hit the ball, ask a question, they hit it back, respond, and you keep the game going. Active listening makes this flow effortlessly. And here's the kicker. When people feel heard, they're more likely to open up and keep talking. So you'll never run out of things to say. Win-win, right? You've mastered listening and asking great questions. But let's take it up a notch. Strategy 3, use the power of storytelling. Why storytelling? Because people don't remember facts, they remember stories. Think about it. Who do you remember most in a group? The person sharing random small talk, or the one who told a funny, relatable story? Here's the trick. Share personal experiences. They don't need to be epic. A quick, funny incident or a lesson you learned works wonders. Keep it concise. Good stories have a beginning, middle, and end. Don't drag on. Make it relatable. Tie it back to the person or situation. If someone mentions being nervous at a new job, share your own first day mess up. For example, let's say someone's talking about their fear of public speaking. You can jump in with, I totally get that. My first speech was a disaster. I froze and forgot everything. But I learned this one trick that changed everything. This does two things. It keeps the conversation engaging, and it makes you memorable. People connect with stories because they evoke emotions, and emotions are what stick. So, don't just talk, tell stories, and watch the conversation flow effortlessly. You're sharing stories, connecting deeply, and the conversation flowing. But what happens when silence creeps in? Strategy 4. Embrace the silence. Here's a secret. Silence isn't your enemy. It's powerful. Most people rush to fill the gap, but confident communicators know silence is natural. It shows you're comfortable, thoughtful, and gives the other person space to respond. Instead of panicking, pause. Take a breath, smile, and let the moment settle. You'll be surprised. Often, the other person will jump in to fill the gap, and if not, use it as a chance to steer the conversation forward. By embracing silence instead of fearing it, you'll exude confidence and keep things smooth. If this video helped you, hit the like button, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on building confidence and charisma.